Hi everyone, happy holidays. Welcome to part 2 of 2024 in review, where I am ranking the albums that I heard in on this channel, song by song, album by album. And there's a lot to go through. If you've not seen the first episode, here's a spoiler. But if you want to see my comments, please check the first episodes. You have the link in the description below. But today we will go through some of the albums that totally blew me away and some of them that were a miss for me. And to start with something in the middle, let's go with Willie Nelson's album with the jazz standards. I actually Stardust is the name. I was about to say I actually forgot the name. And this was the first time that I came about to jazz standards as a term. I did not know that these songs were called like this. And I really enjoyed this record. I can definitely see myself listening it to again. But it needs to be the certain atmosphere, the certain vibe, like a cozy evening, having a dinner with friends at home, and or if you're just chatting next to a fireplace or whatever. Amazing record, and I would like to hear more albums with jazz standards. Um, Particularly in this style, but maybe in some other styles as well. I think there's a lot to explore and appreciate here. So, Stardust is a phenomenal record. If you have not heard it, definitely check it out. And the next album that I'm about to talk about is All Things Must Pass. And I need to put this record into maybe another listen, primarily because I only reacted to CD1, or let's say half of the record. I believe. Let me just double check. I definitely reacted to side one, to one and two. Yes, it was a lot of songs, and I did not listen to the rest. I enjoyed it. It has a lot of Beatles sounds or inspiration to it. It's a great album, but maybe I need to listen into again with the rest of the songs. But it kind of the more I was listening, it was kind of becoming flat in a sense of although it was exploring another different styles and melodies and like arrangements. For me, it didn't excite me enough, but it's unfinished business, so we definitely need to go through this in the near future again. Um, then let's quickly jump into Kamasi Washington's album. This is one of the few albums that I listened to from 2024. And if you're not familiar with Kamasi Washington, he is an American saxophonist. I believe he won many awards already by now, and I always enjoy when he puts out an album. Um, I even bought a ticket for his concert that got postponed to 2025. It was supposed to be in 2024 in November. And yeah, I will listen to him live in spring, early spring 25 for this record. It's a long play. A lot of songs are on this record, and if you listen it to me with me, you can say that every song is like a really phenomenal on its own. Yet I never listened to Kamasi on repeat or frequently. It's just something that kind of makes me more sophisticated to hear it and just to move on. And yeah, for that, I'll put it. Well, I need to put it in. I enjoyed it, but with the caveat that I won't listen it to again, simply because I'm not that big a fan of jazz music. Another album that I heard in 2024 was Jack White's No Name record. And this one, well, I won't say it blew me away, but it's very, very close. I will put it in the amazing section. And the reason why it's so close to being to a category that blew me away is uh, the effortless energy that Jack has to create these amazing records that are um, that have so many great ideas. In the past, he explored different styles. He even did some acoustic stuff, hip hop inspired songs. But this one is like going back to the roots, just and it doesn't sound pale. It doesn't sound like it lost any of the energy or the magic that it had in the early days of his solo career, or even more from the um, White Stripes days. And I have seen Jack White perform twice. One in a festival. He was a headliner just before Pearl Jam, and another time I've seen him in a small club. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it was like 800 people, something like that. Maybe 1,000, but it doesn't make big of a difference. Amazing in both cases. So not a lot of bands can do an amazing stadium or festival show and then have the same energy or even better energy in the club. Amazing record, No Name, Jack White. Definitely check it out. And the last album that I heard in this year, but I have not reacted to it on the channel, simply because I wanted to enjoy it for what it is the newest Cure record. And I forgot the name of the record. Just give me a quick second. Songs of the Lost World. This album is, yeah, I mean, I only heard two albums before from in the past from The Cure, but what I heard, this is like the best album they did since Disintegration, and I can only confirm that it's really, really good. It's an amazing record, and I definitely need to give it a praise and put it in an amazing section. I listened to it many times. It just has these beautiful sounds. I mean, it took them 10-15 years to release a new record, and I was watching an interview with Robert Smith, and he was just saying all these songs were just have been redone, remade so many times, but the more they were doing, the more they were confirmed like the first takes, or one of the first takes, was the best one. And uh, he even included some of the more cheerful songs here, because he got a comment that it's too dark, too monotone, in a sense that it's all going in the same direction of the energy. And yeah, that definitely makes sense. You kind of need to break it to kind of you cannot have black if you don't have white, right? And other way around. So it definitely needs some contrast, and it really, really shines from top to bottom. Give it a listen if you have not. Then we still have a quite chunk of records to go through. And looking at this list, let's maybe go to the Rolling Stones that I didn't do much this year. Rolling Stones were one of the highlights of 2023 for me. It was the band that I discovered uh, last year, and the last record that I heard from them was Beggar's Banquet, and it was the first album of the big three records that they put out end of the end of the 60s, ending up with Sticky Fingers. And for me, this album was a bit of a disappointment. It was too bluesy. It was after Sympathy of the Devil. Yeah, it was just too much blues, and not in a fun way. I mean, there are certain types of blues. I like the music that is inspired with blues, but not when it's blues, if that makes sense, or when it's like a more, let's say, cheerful version of blues. I'm not an expert, but yeah, this album kind of made me. Um, I didn't enjoy that. Maybe I need to give it another listen. But for me, it's an album that kind of showed me what I do like about Rolling Stones and what I don't like. So for the future, yeah, I definitely need to check some other albums. But yeah, let me know what should I check next. I did listen to, so there's a story behind why Sticky Fingers was never published. I recorded all the reactions. Maybe it was even 2022. No, it was definitely 23. In 23 I recorded the album, and when I was uploading or checking the videos, I noticed that my mic wasn't on. That was a thing that was happening to me sometimes back in 23, and I was so disappointed. I just couldn't re-listen to it, react again, because it was not capturing the excitement, the the amazed feelings that I had about this record. Sticky Fingers would definitely be one that blew me away, and it's one of my favorite records from 2023 that I heard that year. And yeah, so unfortunately, we will never see those reactions, but now I confirm that it's an amazing record. Going to, I'm looking at these albums, and yeah, let's go with the Devo. Um, it was one of the bands that I wanted to check out, always wanted to check out, never had the opportunity. It's an album that kind of left me with raised eyebrows. I mean, I definitely enjoyed it, but I won't listen it to again. So it's kind of a weird category. I think it is too comical, too absurd to kind of get into it. Um, I'm not saying that it's not a amazing record. I mean, if we were ranking these albums um, by their quality, like trying to be as objective as possible, it will be very, very high. But it's an album that I think this band, maybe if they took themselves a bit more seriously later on, but kept the creativity that they had on this record, I think that album might be more something that I would go back to. But for this one, it's just something that it's a fun for one listen, and I won't listen it to again. Um, but I simply cannot put it with these albums that I really didn't enjoy, so I need to put it in maybe another listen. Then going from the right to left, we have the last record that I heard from Velvet Underground. I went from their latest latest release to the first release, and uh, I enjoyed this record. However, I it was not my favorite. I definitely liked some other albums better, like their self-titled record and Loaded. But the album that they did with Nico definitely has a lot of great tunes. I would say, I mean, you can hear the sound of the 60s. And what really blows me away when I find an album that doesn't sound that it was recorded in the 60s, that's where I get most excited about. But when I do hear, you kind of need to be really into it. Still, and I'm also not sure if I'm a fan of Nico or not. She kind of gives me a bit of creeps. It's just not very pleasant. um, Heroin, yeah, it's fine, but again, the most exciting or most interesting thing is the drumming part, when the drummer cannot hear himself from the distortions, and then stops for a second and then just continues again. Um, but yeah, it's I'm glad that I heard this record, but I don't see myself listening to it again. I need to put it in maybe another listen at another time, in another point in time. Maybe I will need to listen to it again. Um, then we are going to The Doors, and this is the only album, their self-titled record, that I heard from them. I was really, I really enjoyed this record. I can definitely put it in the tier above. Um, I am a big sucker the instrument, for the organ. It's I like Moog and organ and all these sounds. Really enjoy that. But the album itself was pretty solid, and you can hear kind of surf rock a bit, those LA vibes to it. But I enjoyed it. I can definitely hear myself listening to it again. Yeah, not much to say here. Then we have an odd one, a Gang of Four. And Gang of Four is a band that I was um, aware of because of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and their first record was produced by Andy Gill. And I covered Entertainment in 2024, and just between 24 and 23, or in end of December, starting of January, I was reacting to their other album that I actually preferred more, and that was, I believe, Solid Gold. I enjoyed Solid Gold more, but Gang of Four, for me, it's like a comfort food. I really enjoy their music, so I can definitely put it in the I enjoy the section. But Solid Gold, I would put that album as probably in the higher tier, or the top higher part of the tier, in the enjoy it um, section. We have still a couple of records to go through, and yeah, let's go with Bob Dylan now. So Bob Dylan is a big discovery for me. It's something that I never thought that I will enjoy or have the opportunity to listen to. And because of this, I heard probably more than 10 records by now by Bob Dylan. And the last three records that I heard from him were um, Rough and Rowdy Ways, Mind Out of Time, and Oh Mercy. And to conclude 2024, I even saw him in concert, I believe in November. He had a concert in the city where I live, and I simply had to buy a ticket and see it. Although it was, I knew that the concert might not be the best one that I ever visited, and it definitely wasn't. But I still had the opportunity. Now I can say that to myself, not to brag, that I saw Bob Dylan in person in concert. And Rough and Rowdy Ways is a great record. I really enjoyed that record. It's fun to listen to. I like this style. I don't know what it is. It's like a rhythm and blues, Americana, folk, whatever. I would definitely like to hear more albums that are in this style, not necessarily by Bob Dylan, but definitely in this style. And I definitely want to explore more Bob Dylan in the future. But now we come to the two albums that were produced by David Lanois that I discovered this year as well. I was in part one, I was talking about U2, about Joshua Tree and Octon Baby. Um, I don't know what it is about him, but yeah, I simply was blown away with Mind Out of Time. It's an album that is deeply inked in my skin, and I adore it so much. But not even, I mean, I won't put All Mercy in the same category. I will put it in the amazing. I really enjoyed it, and I will listen to it many times again. Fantastic. It was just what I needed. It's just what I need, what I still need, and I cannot wait to hear them again. I'm even considering buying them on vinyl and listening to them on vinyl as well. But until then, yeah, we'll go with streaming. um, what blew me away mostly about them is the production and it's the contemporary sound. Um, Bob Dylan, I mean, you can say many things about him, but he always had these amazing bands behind him, and that's actually what drives me toward his music the most. Yes, there are exceptional lyrics, but that's like another universe that you kind of need to explore to kind of understand and fully appreciate. But here, I think it's best of the two worlds. Not very long songs, accessible lyrics, amazing music, amazing arrangements, and reading his book, The Chronicles. I see. I remember that they were struggling a lot to create Oh Mercy. Um, they simply didn't have. No, it was actually for the political world. Sorry, it was a bit later. But let me. Oh no, yeah, yeah. For Oh Mercy, political world. Yeah, he had that. He wrote that song in the kitchen. He wake up one night and went down to the kitchen, wrote it, and um, uh, then didn't know what to do. He didn't have any melody in his head. And I believe the other one was What Good Am I? It was the second one that he did. And they were struggling a lot to kind of find what to do with the songs and arrangement after arrangement, nothing was working. And even David Lanois was freaking out. And what's most interesting that I just remembered, Bono actually introduced Bob Dylan to David Lanois. They were having a dinner at Bob Dylan's place, and Bono said, "Do you have any new songs?" And Bob showed him Political World, and he said, "Yeah, I know a producer that you can work with," and it was David. So yeah, amazing. I also saw recently interview with Rick Beato with David Lanois, a fantastic one as well. If you have not seen it, check it out. And yeah, I mean, cannot wait to hear more. But let me know which David Lanois records I should check next. Maybe something solo or that he produced for someone else. But can it really top these albums that I already listened? Not sure. Maybe that's the downside. And the last two records that are left to mention in this video are London Calling and Motion Pictures. Sorry, Moving Pictures by The Rush. Um, I'm just uh, I'm just opening the track list so I can comment to it. Moving Pictures. It's the only song that I knew from this record was YYZ, and I was always interested in The Rush, but I never had the opportunity to listen to them. And uh, I definitely liked what I heard, and I definitely want to hear more of their music, but I don't know in which direction to go. A bit earlier or a bit later. It's almost like the situation with Steely Dan. Um, Not there are any comparisons between the bands, but I was always like, should I go after or before? And I just got stuck. So this is an amazing record, I would say, but I would put it in the enjoyment because simply because I would rather listen all these albums um, in the amazing section over this one. But Tom Sawyer is amazing. Red Barchetta, amazing. I mean, these are all great songs, but it kind of um, misses something. I remember, I'm trying to remember, but I think the comment from my side was it's kind of um, too many things are happening on this one. Maybe there are too extravaganza. They're going too out of their in. It's like they're staying in their own way. Great songs one by one, but the camera eye, yeah, that one I really didn't enjoy. Side B was a little bit off for me, so yeah, definitely an album that I enjoyed. And the last album, and one of the last albums that I listened, no, actually, it was the last album that I listened in this year, London Calling by The Clash. This is an album that totally blew me away. I did not expect to enjoy this much. I knew maybe one or two songs, London Calling definitely, and it's just, I don't know. It's, well, actually, I do know. I was surprised they mix so many genres on this one. I especially like the ska element in their. They have the punk setup, punk vocals, punk everything, and then they go to ska, then they go to um, I won't say pop, but like very accessible, very party type of a songs, and song after song after song, it's just ridiculous how good and entertaining this album is, and I can I can I can hang this poster on the wall, and it will definitely have its meaning because it symbolizes for me like pure enjoyment of music, moving yourself, and just um, yeah, enjoying life. And music is the answer, or music is the best kind of a feeling. So that would be all. Thank you so much if you stayed until the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like this bracket, how it ended. Maybe it gives you an idea of what should I check next in the next year. Please let me know in the comments. I definitely want to hear more music in 2025. I hope we will hang out very often. And let me know what are your favorite records of 2024 that you revisited, maybe that you haven't heard in years, or the new ones. I would love to hear what you listen to and what you would recommend me. And I will take the opportunity to wish you a happy new year, a lot of health, a lot of wealth, and of course, great music. Until next time, thank you so much. See you next year. Take care and bye bye.